welcome to Phoenix Business Exchange, the East End edition on this fine November 19th. November 19th. You know what? It almost sounds like the year end's coming up, but I'll leave that alone. That's another conversation. If you're not ready for Christmas, well, then, there's people to talk to around here. Maybe you need a furnace. Maybe you need your taxes done. Maybe you need your wheels spun. Right, Sam? Perfect. So, folks, welcome. It's like -5 and cloudy today, apparently, depending who you talk to. But you'll notice I'm just sharing the screen with the Phoenix Business Exchange screen and the website, pbex.ca. Member of the week is Penny Lee Prevost. There's Penny Lee's card. There's her Nia dance video with Penny Lee. So that just gets you motivating. If your blood is kind of feeling sedentary, that Penny Lee can fix you on that one. To visit us today, just click on the Wednesday morning 8 to 9 Eastern button here, and Zoom will take you down this rabbit hole. Monday morning, we also meet 8 to 9, and Thursday mornings 8 to 9. And on December 2nd, we have an after hours group, and that's about staying on track with your goals. What's going on in your life, and both personal and professional, mostly professional. East Trade wins every Tuesday. We meet at 8 to 9 Eastern, and free to attend. You meet people across Canada as well as overseas. Facebook Live Meditation with Tony. So you get that Zen moment, November 21st, 1:30. Just click there and you'll go there. Sunbathing event on November 26th. Tony will imbue you with sound around you, and it will just make you mellow yellow. And which is, if you're doing a Donovan song, it's really great. Penny Lee's got that, dance is movement, which is medicine, I should say, with Nia classes, both in person and online. Click here to find out more details. Friends Friday potluck. So, hungry? December 12th, Penny Lee's got a gathering at her place, not online. Bring food. And at 6:30 p.m. on December 12th. South End group is meeting November 27th, and that's coming up soon. 7:30 a.m. as opposed to the typical 8 a.m. in person and online. You hear somebody talking today and going, gee, I need to know more information. I need to get a quote on something. I need to have a service acted upon. QR directory for all members is right available here. And just click on that and then drill into the information to be shared. You'll notice a QR code that's over my shoulder. And that all ties back to the electronic business card that is part of the Phoenix membership. It makes it easier for people to reach you. It takes away the friction points. So if you want to share your phone number, you want to share your email, you want to share your website, a little video that explains what you do, it all kind of wraps up into that link, into that card. And so we've had over 3,900 hits on that platform year to date, with people using that to connect with members. And that just kind of shows you part of the marketing push of why being a member in Phoenix is so handy and useful for everybody, including yourself. $4.9 million worth of business, actually almost close to five. We're getting there. Since 2016. Year-to-date referrals, 177,000, almost $178,000 worth of business just between members. And so that's really an important thing to, again, remember that the purpose of this networking group is community and generating business. And I'm going to stop the share, and I'm going to swing over to our educational minute, which is with Susan McGarry. Susan, the floor is yours. Muted.
Thank you so much, Bernie. Yeah, you got sound?
Good.
Okay, great. With you touching on year end happening so close and 2026 just around the corner, I thought what I'd touch on is customer relations. As we head into 2026, one of the biggest opportunities for every business, no matter what industry you're in, is stronger customer relationships, deeper, meaningful connections. Most people think they need more leads. I sometimes run into that problem. But what they actually need is more engaged long-term customers. And the simplest tool to build that is an Excel sheet or maybe a small CRM. Start tracking each customer's name, purchase, date, birthday, holiday, your touch base points, and even the little things they tell you about their life. These details can become very valuable to you. And when you reach out to them on their birthday, check in after a purchase or send a small holiday message. You immediately stand out. People buy from people they feel connected to, and that connection is built through consistent, thoughtful follow up. So as 2026 gets closer, don't just think growth, think retention. Your Excel sheet today becomes your repeat business, referrals, and loyal customers for tomorrow. Thank you, Bernie. Back to you.
Whoa, Susan, just whipping through that one. That's awesome and good words. Here is the LinkedIn live post feed. So put your content, share your information inside that space. And, if you're putting in a person's name, put the at symbol before that. It helps pop it up and makes it connect further. Good LinkedIn training as well as good promotional content. And the fickle finger of fate's going to swing around the room because we know Eric's presenting, so I won't talk to him first because I did that last time. And you know what? We will go to Sam and then Wendy. Sam, over to you, sir.
Thank you, Bernie. Good morning, everyone. Sam Sturs, connectedcars.ca. There's my contact information in the chat. Bernie mentioned somebody, and I want to mention that he mentioned somebody by the name of Donovan, a famous musician, certainly in my era. What country was he from, Kat?
If the answer's not Scotland, because I don't know which Donovan we're talking about.
He was from Scotland. Donovan, famous musician in the late '60s, early '70s. I suggest you maybe listen to some of his music. Very good music. Anyway, besides that, dash cameras is what I do. Electronics and cars. Also do minor repairs, oil changes, brake jobs. Doing lots of tire. Well, it's coming near the end of my tire changing season. I'm getting some, but not as many as I was the last couple of weeks. And one thing I'm talking about this week is rust inhibitor for your vehicle. If you haven't noticed, we live in a area where there's lots of salt on the road in the wintertime to prevent us from sliding into things like each other. So I would highly recommend you get rust inhibitor in your vehicle. If you don't have it, I suggest you get it at least once a year if you want to retain your vehicle for a long time. If you're trading it in every couple of years like Tony does, like he's got lots of money to trade in his vehicle and gets a new one, you don't necessarily need to. But if you want to retain your vehicle for a long time like I do, I get it done and I can help you out and give you some reference. I don't do it myself, but I can give you some references on places to get it done. Not only does it help rust, it also lubricates things like your bushings in your vehicle and helps them last longer. These things can cost thousands of dollars to replace when they go bad. Anyway, let's see, BAMS wise, Steve Breckenmeyer was here on Monday, put his winter tires on his car and did an oil change for him. Dave Beliveau, if you remember our friend Dave, he's still around. He's still got a sore thumb, unfortunately, so he hasn't played squash with me, but he's still around, and I put his winter tires on his vehicle yesterday, and he brought me a smoked meat sandwich from Marky's. What a nice guy. Grabbed that for me. I had my lunch. And Bernie, I hope you're got your vehicle soon and get those winter tires on for you. That's it for me, Sam Sturs, connectedcars.ca. Today's mobile electronics without the cost of a vehicle, and a lot more.
I know where Marky's is. Oh, I'm hungry now. Bad one, Sam. Bad one. I'm gonna also quick promo here. We're looking for a personal agency or recruiter and have them join us as a part of the network. Have them reach out to Penny Lee, Jacqueline, and then we will go to Matt.
Oh, beautiful. In this beautiful, cool, I was going to say warm autumn day, I did open my door, took a beautiful deep breath. I lifted my shoulders, took them back, released them down, and recognized that the garbage got taken out. Everything that I recycled was completed and done. I need to let you know that I coach for clarity, not correction, because most people don't need fixing. They just need space to reconnect with their inner wisdom. I help them find stretch in their savings. I help them align their worth. I help them make decisions with regard to their mortgage money and their yoga stance. And for your personal financial health, I am here. When you're looking for autumn thoughts for your equity, you need to contact on behalf of Your Mortgage Strategies, Your Mortgage Honey. Let me know. I'm Jacqueline Richards. Happy to be with you.
Any BAMS referrals?
Only my Tuesday BAM with you and the team. And I have BAM set up for next week.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thanks.
And next quick promo. Kat is a great resource inside this universe. And, Kat, thank you so much. I mixed up whether Jacqueline Wendy, so I'll circle back to you next Wendy. So sorry about that. Kat's just reminding about that one. It's called multitasking, going at a certain point in time. You know what? That looks good. There we go. We'll go that route. Matt, go ahead before I get going.
Good morning, Matthew Ledard here from Arizona HVAC Services. We're your local family air HVAC company here. We supply furnaces, air conditioners, heat pumps, air supply, air exchangers. Sorry, and we have many ways to help make your home comfortable and more healthy. Right now, we have our fall promotion going on with furnace specials. There is highly discounted furnaces up to $3,000 off the purchase and installation of a new high-end furnace. And also want to talk about a little bit more about indoor air quality. With everybody's windows being sealed up with this beautiful chilly weather, we don't get to exchange our air in our homes as often as we should be. And with all of our new purchases and new homes being built that we're living in, and it's sealed up very airtight, we breathe in a lot of chemicals and formaldehydes and things that we don't want to be putting into our body that affect us in many different ways. So if you or anybody you know is interested or concerned about the air that they breathe or looking to improve some comfort in their home, feel free to reach out to me. Happy to help. Matthew Ledard, Arizona HVAC Services, quality you can trust, guaranteed.
Matt, thank you so much. Next quick promo. It's an event that's happening today, put on by Carl Richards at between 11 and 1. And it is the Podcast Alliance quarterly meetup and mastermind Wendy. And then we will swing over to Susan McGarry. Wendy, over to you, ma'am.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Wendy Chung, real estate broker with Century 21 Synergy, the Ottawa Housing Condo Group. I'm always looking to connect people. I'm always having my ear to the ground to find out what people are needing. And it may not be even real estate related. For example, Matt, I sent you a referral recently. Francis, I hope that you will let him know about this promotion that's going on with the new furnace, because I think that's going to be coming up at some point. And so maybe he is ready to pull the trigger and get a new furnace. Also, Susan M. I've been sharing the story of Melaleuca and the benefits, and more and more people are starting to tune in because a lot of people are having issues with the current products that are chemically driven in our marketplace. So there's definitely a place for that. Susan McGarry, I had my sister visit me over the weekend, and I gave her a bottle of the Pure Garden. I didn't even give her a choice. I said, Marianne, take this cream and use it. Use it for everything. So, sometimes it's really just about the introduction, and it's about your own experience with either a product or service that's going to help the next person to see the value. And I mean, we all have value as entrepreneurs and business owners. So definitely building that relationship, building that trust, communication, that's the best way to go, and let people make their own decisions. So if you know of anyone that's looking for anything real estate related, I would love to have a conversation with them. And unfortunately, I have no BAMs to report, Bernie, but it's great to see everyone this morning. Thank you.
Wendy, thank you so much. Next quick prompt is to reach out to Mike Wazowski. If you can't make a meeting, Mike can do a stand-in for you. He'll be your doppelganger, so to speak. Wendy, and loosely speaking, he won't mimic you totally there, Sam. Don't worry, he won't change your tires. We'll do Susan McGarry and then Susan Ebbs. Susan McGarry, over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Bernie. Susan McGarry with Pure Trim. I got my big sign back here. This is just temporary. I'm going to be in the Calabogie Parade. So I'm pretty super excited to have a float this year. on the 7th of December. So if you're in the Boogie area and you want to check it out, it'll be starting at 1 o'clock. My brother is also an influencer. He's also a promoter with Pure Trim. So he's going to dress up his Jag. He has like a kit car from the 40s. So it'll be super cool. I think we're going to be frozen, but that's okay. And speaking of the samples and the serum, I am going to be making little sample serums for adults for their chapped lips, and then candy canes, of course, for the kids. So my name is Susan McGarry. I'm with a company called Pure Trim, Mediterranean health and wellness supplements that help overcome joint muscle pain, nutrition, digestion, weight management, as well as energy and so much more. So if there's anyone you know and care about that's looking to overcome any of these things, please have them reach out to me. No BAMs to report, but I've been working almost, well, every other day with Kat, but we've been working really closely together and it's been magnificent. Thank you.
Susan, thank you so much. Next quick prompt is about Canada Growth Network and an offer. It's $1 for the first month and $39 thereafter, and it gives you a full CRM, go high level, all wrapped in one box. And reach out to myself, Percy, or Kat even. She's been helping folks in that space. Susan Ebbs, tell us a story. Tell us what we need to wash with today.
Well, you know what? Winter is here. Did you break out your winter boots? Oh, the smell that was left over from last winter. We have a product that can help with that. And with gym bags, you know, the sweat from working out and everything. This one's called Hit Refresh. It's essential oil, smells nice, and it helps get rid of those nasty smells naturally. It's got many products in it. One of them, of course, is the Melaleuca oil. And you've also got citronella and what's the other, lemongrass. And so this just helps to freshen up those gym bags and those winter boots. And so you don't, you know, have to plug your nose when you put your boots on. So just another lovely product, all natural, helping you to detoxify your home environment. Susan Ebbs with melaleuca.com for all your non-toxic cleaning needs. BAMS, well, thank you, Wendy, for your ongoing support and spreading the word. And who else? Penny Lee is also a longtime customer. And I didn't have any BAMS with anyone this past week. So.
Susan, thank you so much. Next item, if you know someone that is a locksmith, have them reach out to Penny Lee. Again, another service required within the Phoenix family. And Madam Kat, over to you.
Hi, everybody. So today, what I'm looking for is people who post on their social media, but they do not build relationships with their posts. So these are people that go on and they go, I've got a product, I've got a service, I'm selling it, do you want it? Those people don't go far because there's no relationship building, there's no personal stuff, there's no National Day posts. So those people really need some help. So if you know those people, I'd love to have a chat with them. I would also like to say, if it's permissible, happy International Men's Day to all the men that are on the call and that are in the group and that are watching the recording. And then BAMs wise, since our last call, Q. She is my BAM.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And let's see, we are going to swing over to Tony next. And yeah, Tony, over to you, sir.
Okay, well, there's so many buttons. Okay, thanks a lot, Bernie. Just a quick reminder on the New Year's Ball. That's, of course, at the end of the year, December 31st. We have 2 spaces left for our Phoenix table. If you're interested, just to bring in the new year, we have 8 altogether. We sold 6 right away. It didn't take much. And so we'll have Eric at our table and some other people. And so if you're interested in getting one for you and your spouse, let us know. Okay, so that'll complete that. And thank you so much for the education, Susan. That's so appropriate because I'm constantly getting emails from all kinds of people, wanting me to connect to 100 million emails and so on. I have no interest in that because it's just a bottomless pit. It's much better to be able to take care of your own customers. So you're dealing with 200, 300, 400, whatever amount of what your customer base is, and you treat them really well, and lo and behold, they start bringing in people themselves. If you treat them well, and if you are good at what you do, other people will want to share it so they can help. And so they do all the work. I remember in our moving business, we just had such a great relationship, and eventually we didn't have to advertise at all. 95% of the clients we were getting were from people that were really happy with what they were doing. So anyway, that's just a continuation on Susan's education. Very appropriate. Thank you, Susan. And that's. I'm a medium clairvoyant. I'm a tuning fork master. And what that means is that regarding frequency and sound, because your body is basically moving all the time, it is a frequency, and the tuning forks are exactly what your body needs. I mean, if you look at musicians, they need tuning forks to tune their guitar, to tune their piano, and I've moved several pianos in my day, being in the moving business. Sometimes people wanted to move it across the street, across the town, even from upstairs to downstairs or vice versa. It was always better to go down than rather go up. But every time they moved it, they had to tune that piano. Why? Because of humidity. As soon as you start moving the instrument, it changes the tune. It's out. So people are the same. They still get in tune. Our various centers of our body have a different tone. The throat is a different frequency than the heart, which is a different frequency than the solar plexus, and so on. And each of these tuning forks, they vibrate to different tones. So we are essentially a piano. As soon as we are frustrated about something, as soon as we think that, we're not doing enough, as soon as we think that we're being criticized and we're kind of questioning our marketing, questioning, am I doing the right thing? We're out of tune because we're always doing the right thing. There's never a mistake. We're just perceiving it that way, and we get out of tune because we're taught one way, and then that's how we basically see things, but it's not what's really happening. So when a person comes in for a reading or whatever, they get really the essence of what's really going on, changes their frequency, and then a tuning session just solidifies it. So if you know anybody that could use a tuning session to bring them in balance and make them feel better about themselves, have them come in. Next week is sound bathing time. Next Wednesday night, 7 p.m. to 9, I'm hosting an online and in-person sound bathing event. It's going to be amazing. It's all about solidarity for this theme, and it's all about being able to just come in with a question that you would normally ask a psychic, and you would be able to extract that yourself, being able to get those answers on your own. So if we have usually it's around 20 to 30 people that we have online. So if you want more information, let us know. It's in the chat if you want to connect to any of those events. And I hope to see you next week. So Tony Jennis from Higher Self, we are here to raise your spirits. And ongoing business with Eric. We did some raffling around yesterday to try and get things filed and so on. Eric's staff is amazing. I've never seen such a loyal staff. Eric, you have some amazing people. So that's a credit to you're able to get those people that will just work tirelessly to do whatever it is that you do. So we all wish we had those types of people. So way to go. We also had Real ongoing business with him. Had a BAM with Penny Lee. Had a BAM with Kelly, our realtor from the Bell's Corners group. Sandy Bonneau, we're launching a podcast for her. She's our pet whisperer in the after hours group. So if you have a pet that is going through some stuff and nobody can figure it out, she can connect to the pet, and the pet will tell her what's going on, which might help you to tell the vet what's going on. Ongoing business all the time with Cat. Josh, I just bought the Office 365 incorporated into our new computer. So we did that last night. And yeah, that's about it there. Oh, and by the way, we're like 23,000 away, I believe, something like that, 23 or whatever thousand away from getting to 5 million. So we're all just waiting for Wendy to sell a house. So, okay, so we'll back to you, Bernie.
Okay, Tony, thanks. So I've already put my contact details in the chat, and I'm just going to pipe in a couple more things. So first off, if you want to do a BAM with me, a great place to be at Hive. It's central to the city, pretty easy. I was trying to get downtown to, not even downtown, yesterday around 3 o'clock, and traffic, it just but all the traffic was good before then, if you're coming from the west. From the east, take Curling. Other quick promo is got Mr. Wayne Pratt and his book Freshly Brewed Coaching that's popped up, and it's out, and he's actually doing a release on. I'll put the details in the chat shortly. He's doing a release on Thursday. He's doing a book thing in Smith Falls, so check it out. And what else to tell you? It's been a good week. I've met with Jacqueline and Tony at East Trade Winds. Great to have them, and Carl was there too. So it's a good crew. The other pieces that are happening are that potentially with Ad Hive there might be an opportunity. I have to talk with Tony and Kat. And also another thing with the Canada Growth Network that might be a benefit to. So I'm telling you, there's kind of a pre-BAM happening, and Tony's not paying attention right now. But maybe after this meeting, we can do a quick 30-second BAM, sort things through. I'm going to stop talking because you know what? Our main act, our Cirque du Soleil of finance is about to speak, and I'll swing the boom over to Eric. Over to you, sir. Oh, Eric, silence is golden, but not for you.
Thank you, Bernie. I didn't. I don't think I deserve that accolade about Cirque du Soleil.
Oh, don't wear tights. Don't wear tights. You'll be okay.
But sometimes my clients think that we're magicians here, and sometimes it's difficult to convey the message that we're not magicians. We are more or less people who know how to comply with the government rules, and we make sure that our clients are compliant, are complying to government rules with the least amount of pain, with the least amount of tax, with the least amount of hassle. So that's what an accountant does. From time to time, we have to tell the client that there is no other way but to do what CRA wants them to do, and then we go to CRA and we tell the CRA that the client cannot bleed more than they're bleeding, and we get in the middle. We get them to the middle, and we massage an agreement. Anyways, last week, was it last week or this week? There was a budget that came out. I think it was this week, wasn't it? This week, yes. I'm losing track of time sometimes because I'm in the middle of a tax course as well. so my brain is about to explode. Anyways, this week there was a budget that was just passed yesterday. That everybody disliked. So why did people dislike it? Well, I'm going to share my screen and maybe we can go with it. Just a sec.
Press F5. Or yeah. No. If you go to the left of that highlight, there's a little thing that looks like a screen with a. There you go. You're up and running.
All right. So the November budget. If you break it down into areas of what the government wants to do, they deal with accelerated CCA, bird trust funding, and I'll say a little bit more about that. Expanded nonprofit organization requirements, and I'll talk more about that. The elimination of the underused housing tax, the intercorporate dividends, and I will talk about that a little bit more. Clean energy and capital gains. So what they want to do is the government wants to reach environmental goals through the capital cost allowance that we all have, Schedule 8 of our tax returns. And they do that by giving accelerated CCA, or a capital cost allowance, for items that you buy that are clean in energy. Now, that is going to help more the people who buy very big systems to decrease their carbon print. But that will also apply to people who buy computers that are more efficient, people that get AI in their computers to do more work. All of that kind of stuff will go through that. So sections 44, sections 45 of the capital cost allowance, those sections, I know that those numbers will bore you, but we get turned on in accounting when we say them. So, so sections 44, sections 45 of the capital cost allowance will be the ones that most of us will use. The other thing that they want to do is encourage you and Tony knows this because he went through it yesterday, to use the web services of the CRA. They want to have, within 5 years, all of us talk to them through the web. And they're using artificial intelligence, they're using, speed, and it's going to be a problem for the people that are not computer savvy, or for my senior citizens that don't, they think a computer is Facebook. They don't know anything else. So that's going to be a problem. The other thing that they're doing is, the social clubs you belong to, the churches you go to, the places you go to that you go once a week or you go twice a week and you're associated with people. Those places are hiding from the government. I know because I'm an accountant, and I know that some of them don't report. My own soccer team doesn't report, right? So now and it's organized as a corporation. So now they want all of those corporations that are nonprofit to send a tax return, even if they don't make any money. They also want to get rid of the Bear Trust, but they are extending that, and I'll talk to you more about it in a minute. And they want to stop the shenanigans that goes on with corporate loans. Intercorporate loans affect people who have two corporations, a holding company and an operating company. So it's not, big business. There could be some people here listening to me that have that. Accelerated CCA means immediate expensing of manufacturing and processing buildings and equipment, fast write-offs for productivity and enhancing assets. So if I buy a Xerox printer that is less polluting than the one I have, I can write it off fast. Bear Trust reporting means Bear Trust are trusts that we start. so that we can do things even to delay eventual taxation. To event, so lots of people, lots of my clients have bird trusts. So what the government wants is now they want them to report. Before they didn't have to report. You just said you have a bird trust, and you don't report. You could advise, but you don't report. Now they want T3 trust returns for those bird trusts, and that will affect, I would say, 25% of my client base. This will affect a lot of my client base, and some of the people like food banks and things like that. NPO reporting is, the government does not want to make themselves look like they are, the Grinch that stole Christmas. So they keep saying, with receipts of $50,000 or whatever, but $50,000 is not $50,000 in charitable receipts. It's $50,000 in income that you have to have, and that affects a lot of my clients. And that means that you have to report. Now, nonprofits don't pay tax, but what will happen is if they don't report, there will be excessive penalties given to them. So I would think some of the more stable nonprofits that we do that don't report, and in our case they all report. But if we had someone that they didn't report, I would have to tell them that they were going to be paying $500 to $1,000 a day in penalties for not reporting. That's the penalties that are coming. The underuse tax was canceled, and it was canceled because they can use other taxes to achieve the same. And this was very onerous on CRA, and they had to trust lots of people, and lots of people lied. So they canceled it. Intercorporate dividends. Now, this happens at any level of business. This is not big company stuff. And we do this all the time. We create holding companies, that let's say if you have your business inside a building that you own, we split the building into a holding company, and we have the business operating, with another company. So intercompany. So then they start playing games with dividends, so they can take money out without paying tax. So what they've done is, unless you have two companies with December 31st year ends, with the same date year end, not with the same date, September, November, whatever it is, but both of them have the same year end, you will have to pay tax ahead of time if you pay dividend. Before, we can have a company with a June year end and a company with a December year end, and the company with the June year end would declare dividends to the company of December year end, but that they wouldn't have to pay it till the next year. So what happens now is that 6 months you have to prepay the tax of that dividend, and that will mean more work for us accountants and less money for you in the bank. There's been there's a lot of things that they've done for clean energy, that affects large businesses. We laugh about this in the office. The government wants everybody to file a tax return, and they say it's because like that we can give you money that you are not getting now, like the GST tax credit, the Trillium Fund of Ontario, all that kind of stuff. What it is Big Brother wants to see what we're doing, even if we don't have any money, to put it bluntly. And the only people who don't file taxes now, outside of, I would say, old people in retirement homes, is the homeless. Good luck with the government if they want the homeless to get a CRA account and deal with them. The other thing that the government does not understand is that to deal with the government, you have to have an address. A lot of people who are poor do not have an address, live out of their cars and things like that. So this is going to take a decade to work. they're going to have to solve a lot of other problems before they solve that one. Capital gains. Capital gains is something that because there's a lot of people who complain about capital gains, and the government is going through the back door, right? So it happens now more when you dispose of assets. And the problem we have at the office is not when we declare how much we sold something. You know what the question? The question, how much we bought it for in 1992. And then if we say we bought something in 1992 and we fixed it, they want the invoice of all of the things that we fixed. Now, I don't have any clients who have 1992 invoices. So that's where, and if you don't have that, it increases your capital gain because it's the cost of 92, no renovation cost because you don't have the records, and the sell price. And that we got caught on that. We were caught on that this year with one client. And what saved us is that the client got divorced in 2018. And under the laws of Canada, you reprice the asset in 2018. So we don't have to worry about what the cost was. We just need to know what the value was in 2018, and then we can go ahead. But that is what the government is going after. And to close, there were other measures that happened prior to the election. They allowed capital gains of small business to be rolled over into investments. They're making the Canada carbon rebate for small business tax-free. They're allowing charitable donations that you made in the first 2 months of the year to be taken back to the previous year, and they're increasing the capital gains lifetime exemption up to $1.25 million. Now, this is the exemption that you get provided you sell the right stuff. Provided you're selling small business shares, provided you're selling, a farm, provided you sell things like that. It doesn't happen if you sell, your money, your mutual funds, your shares, and all that kind of stuff. That doesn't happen. What you have in that case is you can diminish that by the losses you had, but you cannot get a 1.25 million exemption of capital gain. But if you work in a business that grows and they buy you out, they buy out your shares, that will work. Cote & Associates Professional Corporation, Eric Sonego, Managing Partner, eric.sonego at capros.ca. Any questions? The reason I'm hurrying is because on Monday, I spoke longer than I was intended to speak. Hey, 8:50, that's great.
You did good. Don't worry. Wendy, go for it.
Thank you, Eric, for that presentation. A little bit depressing at times, eh? I wanted to ask you, there was talk that the government wanted to start with your principal residence, like there'd be capital gains tax on a principal residence when you sell it. Is there still that subject lingering in the minds of the government?
Not per se for the average people we know, but there is for the people Wendy, that you sell a house today, you sell a house that needs work, and you sell it at below market, and they move in, they fix it up, and they sell it, after 2 years there, they buy it, you sell them another one 2 years from now, the same condition, and that's called house flipping. And house flipping, CRA is looking at very carefully, right? And You know, like some people that do that, Wendy, they don't even change their address. They don't change their driving permit. They don't change anything, right? So that's the people they're coming after, because housing capital gains is the only investment that the middle class has, really, when you look at it. So that is a crucible that the government cannot do. The U.S. does not have the U.S. doesn't have that system, but the U.S. allows you to write off interest when you own your house, when you're mortgaging your house. So over the years, you get a sizable benefit. In Canada, we don't allow you to write your interest off when you pay your mortgage, but we say to you, when you sell your house, we're not going to tax you.
Thank you.
Matt.
Quick question for you there, Eric. So my father-in-law passed away about a month and a half ago, and he lived in Gatineau.
Yes.
The house was in not in great condition, so we were doing some stuff to it, and because it's in limbo right now, he didn't have a will and all this stuff. We're holding on to the house. It's in my wife's and my brother-in-law's kind of name for right now, or is going to be.
Yes.
Capital gains on something like that, like is this maybe a BAM that we should set up or something, just to talk a little bit more about? I know
there shouldn't be any capital gains provided you sell the house soon.
Well, we're kind of stuck in probate right now with everything, so it may be a year or two, and we don't know how long this is going to take.
Probate should be faster, but a year of, if the house stays dormant, and you're fixing it and you're not renting it to anybody,
yeah,
you have a good chance to convincing the government that it's the same personal residence that your father was living in, except you fixed it up to sell. If by whatever reason you decide to fix it up to a certain level and then rent it, then that will change the use of the house to a rental property, and then you will be staring at capital gains in the face.
Okay. Thank you very much. I'm probably going to set something up with you to talk a little bit more about this a little bit later on. So
with pleasure.
Thank you very much, Eric.
Yeah,
Any other questions? Yes.
One question there, Eric.
Yeah.
I'm toying with the idea of buying a house and having most of the house for business. With our sound bathing rapidly expanding, we want to use about 60 to 70% of the home for business. Open up a crystal shop, basically have a tuning room, a Zoom room, and it would just be the bedrooms that we would have, and a little kitchen. And so square footage wise, it would be about the majority of it. So does that mean that if it's $1 million home, I could write off 60 to 70% of the home?
No, what that means is that you have changed the use of the house from a rental property to a commercial property. And first of all, the city of Ottawa might have a say on that, because we're not supposed to change the character of our homes to keep them as residential properties. And you might disqualify yourself from the free capital gains residential freedom at the end of the cycle when you sell the house.
Oh, so if I sell the house, then I'd have to pay tax on it. But if I can write off, would that means I could write off? So if it's $1 million home, I wouldn't be able to take off half or more of the purchase price.
Well, let me talk to you from the audit side of point of view. Okay, so if I were an auditor visiting you, I walk into your house and you have a business, right?
Yes.
You have a business. So I would say to you, you've written off this business over the last 10 years, right? So if you do that and you sell the house and you sell it and you want to get a capital gains from when you bought it, or you want to sell it, you sell it for more than when you bought it for, okay?
Yeah.
That they will come in and they will talk about recapture, which is a very onerous tax, and they will call it a change of use. They will talk to you about change of use. You don't have a house, you have a business property. They will come in with 5 or 6 things that they will assess you on. And then you better have a good accountant, which you have, and a good tax lawyer, because we're going to tax court with that.
Okay. Okay. But so I wouldn't be able to write off anything in the purchase price, eh?
No,
Okay.
no, because you're buying, you're going to the real estate agent, you're going to Wendy, and you're saying to Wendy, sell
Yes.
me a house, sell me a house. You don't say to her, get me an office. You're saying to her, sell me a house. So you buy a
Well, it's a
house.
home office type of thing.
Right, right. So you sell me a house, you buy the house, you move in with your family, okay? You move in, and then you decide that 70% of the house is going to be business.
Yes.
Well, you're changing the use of the house from a house. You're just incidentally living there. You're just incidentally living there.
So it makes sense then for Tony then to buy like the typical storefront, like in small town Canada, where you'd have, let's say, the ground floor is, well, yeah, shoe shop, whatever,
Yeah.
apartments above, and just
Yes.
buy something that's called a mixed use premises.
Yes.
Uh,
That's what
Would
people
that
do.
say would that save a lot of the shoot me now before I have to keep going moments?
Yes. Yes.
okay. So it
That
has to
would be a
be.
way. Yes, that would be a good solution. I hope it's not too depressing. I mean, this is exciting, guys. Come on.
I said
Yeah.
Cirque du Soleil. You
So it
bring
has
us
to
to
have.
the edge of our seats, man. Go
Okay,
ahead,
so it
Sam.
has to have a multi-use to start with, rather
Yes.
than doing
Yeah.
it where you're because
Yes.
the way most people do it is they have a home and they have an office and there's designated, like I have the entire basement here. It's not very big, but
Yes.
it's I think we've written off about 17% or whatever it is each year in some of the expenses, but
CRA
if
has
we
a
actually
20%. CRA has a 20% threshold.
yeah,
So
exactly.
so the reason they have a 20% threshold is because that's what the municipal governments say. You must have, because if you have over 20%, you're changing the use of the house.
Right,
So
right.
CRA goes back to the 20%. But some people live in small homes, have businesses, and they have 40% of the house for business. And if you measure properly, and you measure properly, you can write it off. But if you don't measure, they will go to the 20%.
Right. Right. Okay. All right.
Sam.
Yeah. So I was mainly thinking about but yeah. So it's a single use. Okay. Yeah. Thanks for the answer.
Eric, thanks for your presentation. Quick question about
You're
riffs.
welcome.
I'm 68 now, and I think the ceiling is 71. At 71, I have to move my RRSPs to a riff. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes.
Should I be maximizing like TFSAs and things like that at that point, if there's room?
The TFSA has no impact on the risk. What is going to happen is you're going to get dinged in tax because you will not be able to plan with the risk. It's not like other investments that you can say, I'm going to delay to take it in February rather in 2026 rather than 2025. As soon as you get 71, they will start paying you monthly installment payments, and those monthly payments are usually taxed at 10%. But nobody who's breathing has a 10% tax rate. So at the end of the year, you will have underpaid tax. You will owe them tax, and then you will get into the installment tax fiasco that my clients get into. It's not a good future for you, my friend.
Is there a cliff to go over? Please, right now.
I'm moving to Costa Rica with Wendy.
Good idea.
Wow.
Susan, you have a question? No? Okay. All right.
All right, great presentation.
If you have any questions, call my office. They all have a sense of humor when they talk to you. That's okay. And we have a bigger firm now, so we have people who only do U.S. taxes. Not in this office, but in the firm, and people who do specialized stuff in accounting that us here don't even know it exists. right? So it's it's a good thing to know that you have that backing behind you. It's not a good thing to know that some of you are going to need that backing. That will make you a very difficult file if you need some of the people that we have here. But most of you will never have that. Most of you will be like the files we have here. Nice people who pay their taxes, who go on a daily basis, who fight with their spouse, who fight with their kids.
Who
Or the
told you,
raccoons.
Eric? Who told you?
That's what we are, right?
Who fights
Good.
with their spouse?
Yeah.
They always win anyway. I mean, there's no fighting.
Yes, but sometimes we males are stupid enough to get into it.
Yes, yeah, the young ones are. Yeah.
Anyways,
Okay.
if
We
there
know
is
there
no other,
was such a thing as an International Men's Day. Thanks for mentioning that, Kat.
yes,
International Men's Day.
I should tell my wife about it.
start a new debate, right?
Yes.
Something new to fight
When
over.
my wife isn't home, I'm in charge.
Yes. Good. May the
All right.
force be with you.
Nanu.
Oh, that's
Way
Mork.
with you. Crossing. Yeah, thanks. Good presentation, Eric. Thanks.
And
Bringing
the,
us
quote,
up to date.
and the
Okay.
quote for the day: "Patience is not the ability to wait, but to keep a good attitude while waiting." Sam, keep a good attitude while you're waiting. You know.
Yeah.
I've been waiting a long time.
Anyways, I have to run.
Okay. Take care,
Bye.
guys.
Take care, Eric.
Okay. Take care.
Tony,
Wild, eh?
you funny guy. So,
Well, that
two
changes
things.
my plans a little bit because I was thinking of getting a home just outside of Canada, and there's a home that has a massive basement where I could bring in 25 to 30 people every month, for the sound bathing, and bring in a crystal shop, just to set the whole thing
Yep.
up as business, and then just have the bedrooms and stuff. But
So,
yeah, it does
you know what?
change the use of the home, which I wasn't thinking.
I can introduce you to Fred, who's a commercial realtor, and he could find you what you're looking for.